Hey everyone, this is DW's Darius, and I was getting ready to clean some of this substrate for my aquariums, but I want to give you guys a quick video of it because I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this substrate. For a long time I was able to avoid buying substrate for my aquariums, and that's because I had a nearby lake where I could collect it from, and it was super natural and it just was free, so who could beat that? But over time that source became polluted. There's glass all within that gravel, and that lake gets a lot of algae blooms, so I just don't want to deal with that. So I took the same path that everyone else has to take, and I went and bought me some substrate. Now I did do a lot of research. There's a lot of different brands, a lot of different offers, but I concluded with going with CaribSea. I have two of their substrates, and I want to give you guys a look at it because, like I said, I'm pretty impressed. So there's two types that I saw with CaribSea that I found to be very impressive, so I decided to get them both. And I'm going to mix them because I feel as if I mix them, it's going to be a very natural mix. There's two different sizes. Both of them are pretty fine, but one is a little bit finer than the other. So this right here is a 40-pound bag of CaribSea. What is this? Jungle Rivers. And this right here is super fine, almost like sand, but it's not sand. I don't really like sand because it gets stuck inside your filter. I wanted something a little bit heavier, but at the same time not too big, because if it's too big it bothers the fish. So this right here is definitely perfect. It's not sand, but it's gravel, but it's very small, so it's actually very perfect. And like I said, this one a little bit bigger. They're about the same shade, so I'm going to mix them together. So that was Jungle River, and this one is Peace River. I'm going to mix them together, and I think that that's going to be a very beautiful combination inside of my Central American aquarium. So when I clean them, I like to clean them inside cement mixing buckets because it's a nice flat surface. And the thing is, when you pour it out, I like to use this because you get it nice and flat. And the flatter it is, the easier it is to clean. If you use like a 5-gallon bucket, it's stacked like that tall, and then you have so many layers and dirt to get trapped. So if you have it in this thing, I probably have about 2 inches of depth, and you can definitely clean it very well. But just look at the quality. Look at that. So it's not sand, but it's not giant gravel. So like I said, I'm very impressed with that. This right here, the Jungle River, is a little bit smaller, and I think together they're going to be an awesome combination. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little rinse. And you can see it's already not too bad because the water's starting to overflow and it's not even that cloudy. So what I'm going to do is just stir it up. And then once it's overflowing, all that dirt and debris is going to overflow. The only hard part about this is when it's time to actually put it into a 5-gallon bucket, you could miss some and you could end up wasting some. So I'm just going to go ahead and tip it so it can spill out faster. And let it refill again. Just keep stirring it. And as you can see, that water is flowing clear, so took about maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and now it's clean. So now this is going to be the other bag. This is a 40-pound bag of Jungle River. It's a little bit finer. I'll just give you guys a quick look at how it looks. So this one, like I said, is a little bit finer, so it's more like sand. You see it kind of clumps, but it's not as light as sand. So definitely an alternative to sand if you're not a big fan of sand. Okay everyone, so this is about 3 hours after adding the substrate to the aquarium. You can see that the water still is a little bit cloudy. I'm guessing that by tomorrow it should be nice and crystal clear. When it comes to the fish, I'm getting a mixed response. Some of the fish are still cautious. I guess they don't trust the new look, so they're just hanging out in the back. And then you have some fish that seem to like it, like my Vieja bifasciatus over here in the corner. He was doing a lot of digging. He was doing a lot of staring just at the substrate. I think that this guy, he was ready to breed. So with this substrate, he's able to create a proper nest. Same thing with this pink Fenestratus. She was doing a lot of digging, and she was another fish that was trying to breed. So it's definitely going to create a better opportunity to create natural nest. Then you have some fish like this catfish. You guys never see this catfish, and he's out swimming around. And I believe that he just feels a little bit uncomfortable on the substrate. And that's because he was living on a bare bottom aquarium for 2 years. And when you take a fish from a bare bottom tank and put him on the substrate, it's definitely going to feel a little bit awkward. Now, I don't think that this substrate is going to actually like bother him. It's not going to cut him or anything. It's pretty fine and smooth, so he's not going to have any issues with that. But as you can imagine, you go from laying on a flat surface to laying on sand, it is going to feel a little bit awkward. So he's swimming around, trying to find a comfort spot. But yeah, first look at the aquarium with gravel. Well, not the first look, I used to have gravel, but the new and improved look at this aquarium, and in my opinion, it definitely looks very good. The substrate looks super natural. Now, of course, with everything, there are pros and cons, and some of the pros about having a substrate, one, of course, the main reason why I added it to the aquarium, it looks very natural. The fish also look better on top of the substrate. Another pro is that this substrate is going to house even more beneficial bacteria. One thing I'm proud about with this whole system, you know, these two tanks are on the same filtration system. I have a ton of beneficial bacteria inside of my sump, but this substrate is just going to create twice as much, so it's going to make the tank just that much more healthier. That beneficial bacteria is going to convert your uneaten foods, your poop, is going to convert into nitrates and nitrites and just make this aquarium a lot more natural. So yeah, that's some of the pros, but the cons are that it's going to build up waste, it's going to build up detritus, and cleaning it will be a little bit harder because now I'm going to try to avoid sucking up this substrate like I did my last substrate. I think it looks awesome. I got this CaribSea Substrate, and like I said, I'm pretty impressed. It's super fine, and it definitely beats the substrate that I've been using. So if you look at the substrate in this aquarium, that's actually mixed, but if we come over here, the substrate in this tank is what I was using for years. This substrate that I collected from a nearby lake looks really good. This is also mixed. I have this mixed with crushed coral. That's the white pieces, but most of it is what I collected from a nearby lake. I like the fact that there are different sizes. It seems more natural. But we come over here and look at this new stuff from CaribSea. Like I said, this is Jungle River and Peace River mixed together, and it looks pretty cool. I do like the other tank where I have different sizes. I believe that's a little bit more natural, but this is more pleasing to the fish. It's more comfortable for the fish. And like I said, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this new change to the 350-gallon aquarium. And that's going to be a wrap to this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed.